Hi folks, Jesse Ivy back with you again today, and today we are going to talk about snow-covered land and why you probably shouldn't buy it. So if you're interested to find out why I believe that, it's coming up next, right after this. Welcome back folks. So let's talk about snow-covered land, and basically that's the name of this video. Beware, don't buy snow-covered land. And why would I say that? Well, being in this business for a number of years, I've seen a lot of different things happen, and especially when it comes to land. And land, when it snows, it's beautiful, it looks great, I love it. But the bottom line is, if you're going to buy land, you really should not buy it when it is snowing. If you put an offer on a piece of land and you suddenly decide that you want to buy it, and you've seen the land recently, there's no snow on it, and you've seen and walked it and checked it out and made sure there's nothing on it, well then you're probably okay. However, if you see somebody advertising land like cheap land for sale, great buy, whatever, and then they show a picture of the land, it's got snow on it or whatever, and it's really inexpensively priced, and you decide, hey, this is a great deal, I should jump on that. Well, maybe you should, maybe you shouldn't. Now, if the price is really low or something like that, it might make you wonder, So what I would suggest doing too would be to wait for the snow to melt before you jump on it, because a lot of things can be hidden under snow like this. This is dry snow, so yeah, you can walk the lot, you can check it out, but you can't see everything, and that's what the problem is. And sometimes people price land that way. They wait for it to snow, like a day like today, or they know they live in an area where it snows a lot, and so their land gets covered, and then they list it for real cheap, and then sell it to somebody else. So why would somebody do that? Why would somebody do that? List their land cheap with snow on it, and what would be their motivation? Could it be just it's a great piece of land? It could be, but another reason it could be it might have a bunch of trash on it, or it might have a bunch of debris on it, or whatever. And so what they do is they wait for it to snow like this. It's like I said, it's a really snowy day, or they may wait a couple of weeks. Then they list their land on eBay or Craigslist or whatever, and they put a really cheap price on it. And maybe what's really happened is they've had a complaint filed against them by the county, and they have trash all over this lot, old tires, a bunch of junk, just trash all over the thing. And basically code enforcement has been out there and all kinds of stuff. So what they do is they wait for it to snow like this, they do, and then they list their property really cheap on a site like that, like on eBay, Craigslist, someplace like that, and then they sell the land really cheap. And so then you come along, you see it, they take pictures of it, it's snowing like this, and so they take, you go out there, you might even be able to go look at the land if you live close enough. But a lot of these people do it where the land's not really handy and for you to check out. But let's just say, even if you do live in the area where the land is, and you go out there, you look at the land like today, you could go out here and look, I'm over here, I'm looking here, there's snow all over it. So you can't tell for sure what exactly is on this lot. You look all over this lot. Like, say this is a 3-acre lot, and I'm looking all over it. You can't possibly see everything that's underneath the ground here or anything else. So that's why you want to make sure that you put in, if you're writing up a contract on something like this, you want to make sure that you put in there, we are going to wait. I'm going to put a contingency in here, contingent upon final approval of property by buyer, taking a walk on the property, making sure once the weather is clear, so you don't send them your money, or you don't give them your money until you actually walk the property and make sure that this property, is clear. Now, if you live outside the area and you see the snowy property, well then employ a realtor or somebody to wait for the snow to melt so that they can walk the property and make sure the property is good for you. But that's what happens. Sometimes people will get in trouble with the county, and so what happens is then the title is changed. You know, they sell the property to you, you buy it, and then suddenly it melts, you know, everything melts, and then there's your trash out here. You have trash all over the property, and then you can't even, you know, you can't even tell that you know, there's trash on it because you didn't know, because you bought the land, you know, with snow all over it, and you just assumed it was okay. And that's part of doing your due diligence. You want to always do your due diligence and be a great buyer by doing your due diligence, meaning do your homework on your property. And one of the things you want to do is walk the property. And if you can't walk the property, then have somebody else. You know, maybe you have a family member that lives in the area of the property. Maybe you can employ a realtor and they can walk the property for you, but you need somebody to walk the property, take a few pictures, and make sure that this property doesn't have trash all over, isn't in trouble with the county. A lot of times the property could be in trouble with the county. It's not even listed on the county website or anything like that, so you might think, oh, I'll just do my due diligence and I won't have any problems. But that's not the case, because a lot of times it's not, these things can be pending or whatever. So then what happens is basically you buy this property with a bunch of snow on it, and the county doesn't care because now you're the new owner and you bought the property, so now it's your problem. Now all this trash that's on this property, it's your problem. You have to clean it up. You have to pay to have it cleaned up. You know, maybe there's other problems, who knows? But what I'm trying to say in this video is basically just to not buy property that's snow covered unless you are going to put a contingency in your contract that you're going to wait for this property to not have snow on it so you're able to walk the property. And that's basically what I'm trying to get across to you here. That's just part of doing your due diligence as a good buyer. So in closing, I'd just like to say, not everything is always as it seems, and you can't trust people in real estate. It's just a fact of life. You just can't. And I've seen people screwed over a million times. I've been screwed over before just by not doing my due diligence. It's worth waiting. A good deal will come along again, even if that one didn't. But with snow-covered lots, you really have to be careful. So this is Jesse advising you to take precautions when you do buy snow-covered lots, if you decide to buy one, especially if it's at a hot price. But just wait for the snow to melt and do your due diligence on the property. Anyway, that's all we have for today. It's a very snowy day, and I hope you're having a good day. And this is Jesse from the Owner Terms Land Network.